Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a single, really powerful idea that kind of flips everything we think we know about, well, knowing things. It's a quote that at first sounds like it makes no sense at all, but it might just be one of the deepest truths about learning there is. Let's get right into it. So here it is. The more I learn in life, the more I realize I don't know. Just let that sink in for a second. How can learning more stuff actually make you feel like you know less? It seems totally backward, doesn't it? So what's the deal here? Is this just a clever way to sound humble, or is it pointing to something much, much deeper about how discovery actually works? And this is what we can call the learning paradox. The key here really is to stop seeing this as a bad thing. It's not about being ignorant, not at all. It's actually a sign that your whole relationship with learning is evolving, getting more sophisticated, and frankly, a lot more realistic. Okay, this slide gets right to the heart of it. On one hand, you have the common view, right? The one most of us probably grew up with. Our brain is like an empty container, and learning is just pouring facts into it until it gets full. Pretty simple. But the paradox view suggests something completely different, and it's a real game changer. It says learning isn't about filling a bucket, it's about pushing the very boundaries of your own awareness outward. To really make this idea click, let's use a metaphor that I think works perfectly. I want you to imagine that everything you know right now makes up an island, your own personal island of knowledge. Let's see what happens to it. So when you're just starting out, your island is pretty small, right? It's just a little speck of land in this huge, vast ocean of things you don't know. Now, as you learn, you read, you have new experiences, you talk to people, your island gets bigger. That part makes sense. But here's the kicker, the crucial insight. As your island's area grows, what happens to its coastline? That shoreline, the border where what you know meets the great big ocean of the unknown, it gets longer and longer and longer. And bam, that's it. That's the whole paradox in a nutshell. More knowledge doesn't make the ocean of mystery shrink. It just gives you a much, much longer shoreline to stand on and see it from. You become way more aware of just how vast the unknown really is. You find one answer, and suddenly you've got 5 new questions you didn't even know to ask before. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, if learning just keeps showing me how much I don't know, what's the point? And that's a fair question. But this is where the real power is. Embracing the phrase I don't know isn't a weakness. It's the absolute engine for curiosity and for growth. You know, this idea ties directly into a really cool concept from Zen Buddhism called Shoshin, which means beginner's mind. It's all about approaching any subject, even one you're an expert in, with total openness and eagerness, just like you're seeing it for the very first time. It means letting go of your ego, letting go of what you think you know, and just being ready to be surprised. And when you practice this, the benefits are huge. It keeps your natural curiosity alive and well. It encourages what's called intellectual humility, which, let's be honest, just makes you a better listener and easier to be around. You're suddenly open to all these new perspectives you might have just dismissed before. And maybe most importantly, it protects you from the dangerous trap of thinking you know it all. Because the moment you think that, you've stopped learning for good. Which brings us to the final, and I think most beautiful takeaway. Once you truly understand this learning paradox, learning stops being a task you have to complete. It turns into something so much more exciting, a lifelong journey of discovery. Listen, the point is never going to be to drain the ocean. You can't turn the whole world into your island of knowledge. That's impossible. The real goal is to fall in love with the process, to enjoy that walk along the ever-expanding shore, peering into the fog of the unknown, and just feeling that spark of excitement for whatever comes next. So, I'll leave you with this. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And that is an absolutely beautiful thing. It's an open invitation to stay curious forever. So, the only question is, what will you discover next?